Yes, my friend. The atmosphere is heated behind the scenes for the Detroit Lions, and Dan Campbell is counting down the hours until he names his official team for next season. I have some important updates for you. What's really going on behind the scenes in Allen Park could shake up everything you thought you knew about the linebacker situation. And it's not just about stats or contracts anymore. There's tension building, expectations rising, and some unexpected sparks on social media that could change the direction of the team's future leadership. But before we go any further, make sure you've hit that like button if you agree that the Lions are going to come out stronger this season. It's always great to see fans of all ages cheering for this team. If you'd like, comment like this: "Go Lions! We're going to the Super Bowl." Now let's dive into what's been on everyone's minds lately: Alex Anzalone's contract situation. I'll also talk about Hutchinson in a bit. The buzz in Allen Park and on social media isn't just another off-season distraction. It's a real story that could signal big changes to the Lions' linebacking core. Anzalone, who has been a reliable and determined leader on defense, is entering the final year of his contract, and his absence from voluntary off-season workouts has raised some serious eyebrows. Let's be clear, these workouts are voluntary, and technically no player is obligated to attend. But when a team captain and vocal locker room leader like Anzalone skips out, it doesn't go unnoticed. Defensive coordinator Calvin Shepard quickly addressed the situation, saying there's no bad blood. He and Anzalone are all good, and reaffirmed Anzalone's status as a leader, an intricate piece to the building and culture that's here. Still, beneath those reassurances, the undertone is unmistakable. Respect is due, and it might be time for a pay raise. The situation isn't just about a payday. It's about what Anzalone represents to this team. After breaking his forearm last season and battling back to help secure a critical win against the Vikings, the man has clearly earned his stripes. His resilience, leadership, and all-out style of play are traits that can't be easily replaced. And let's not forget, this is a 31-year-old linebacker who still brings serious fire to the field. The kind of guy who gets under opponents' skin and brings edge to the Lions' defensive identity. But there's also a strategic side to this. The Lions have been building depth at linebacker, with young talents like Dan Campbell and Derek Barnes in the wings. So, the front office faces a classic dilemma. Do you reward a veteran who's been the heartbeat of your defense, or do you start transitioning more responsibility to the next generation? According to Shepard and other insiders, the flexibility is there. If GM Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell want to extend Anzalone for 2 or 3 years, they've got the cap space. But the decision has to balance performance, age, and the looming contract extensions for players like Brian Branch and Hutchinson. Speaking of Hutchinson, his return from injury is one of the biggest bright spots this offseason.
The defensive end has looked nothing short of supernatural in workouts, according to coaches. He's been flying around the field, full of energy, doing the little things that show he's back to 100%. Defensive coordinator Shepard even joked that Hutchinson is touching the ground when he runs the hoop, a move that shows his explosion and technique are sharp. Lions fans had worried his broken bone might slow him down, but that's not the case. He's already making it clear he'll be ready to dominate by week 1. But back to Anzalone. One reason the Lions aren't pulling the trigger on potential trades like the one for Trey Hendrickson is precisely because of players like Hutchinson and Anzalone. Their presence and looming paydays make blockbuster moves less likely. Holmes has said it before. This team is planning around big-time deals for young stars, not trading away draft capital for aging veterans with massive contracts. One floated idea even suggested sending Josh Pascal and a second-rounder for Hendrickson. It's a flashy move, but it doesn't fit Detroit's long-term blueprint. And there's more. Anzalone stirred the pot further with cryptic tweets in response to Hendrickson trade rumors. While he later clarified things, the spark was already lit. It's the kind of off-field moment that keeps fans glued to their timelines, refreshing for the next clue. Is he dropping hints? Is he frustrated? Only he knows. But one thing is for sure, the situation is far from settled. So the question stands, should the Lions extend Alex Anzalone now, or let him play out the final year of his deal and reassess later? What message does that send to the rest of the locker room? How much should loyalty, grit, and leadership factor into a contract decision in a league that's all about production and potential? I'll leave it right there for now. What do you think, Lions fans? Should Brad Holmes offer that 2 or 3 year extension to Alex Anzalone before the season starts? Now let's talk about the one and only Hutchinson. Because, folks, this is exactly the kind of update that makes the offseason worth following. While fans were busy stressing over injury updates, contract rumors, and trade speculation, Behind the scenes, Hutchinson was doing something else entirely, working, grinding, healing. And now, according to defensive coordinator Calvin Shepard, he's officially back, and better than ever. In a moment that's already becoming legendary at Allen Park, Shepard described walking over to individual drills and challenging Hutch. He asked, "Hutch, you know how I know you're back?" Hutch responded, "How?" Shepard smiled and said, "Because you're touching the ground when you run the hoop." That move, a small but signature gesture from Hutchinson, told the coaching staff everything they needed to know. The explosiveness, the athleticism, the drive, it's all there. Hutchinson isn't just healthy again, he's looking supernatural. That's the word Shepard used, and it's not an exaggeration. Hutchinson isn't just any player, he's the heart of this defensive line. A relentless force who gives 110% every time he steps on the field. And with the type of injury he was, coming back from, a broken bone, there were legitimate concerns among fans. Would he be rusty? Would the injury limit his burst off the edge? Would he hesitate in high-contact drills? Now we have our answer, and it's an emphatic no. Hutch is moving with energy, precision, and purpose. He's making the kinds of plays that don't just inspire confidence, they send a message to his teammates, to the coaches, and to the rest of the league. He's not just back, he's ready to take the next step. And let's not downplay what this means for the Lions as a whole. This is a team looking to take that leap, aiming to turn playoff wins into something bigger. And if you want to contend, you need your stars healthy, focused, and locked in. That's what Hutchinson brings, not just sacks or tackles, but tone-setting, effort, leadership by example, and that intangible quality that makes everyone else on defense raise their level. Training camp will be the next big test, and while the staff might take a precautionary approach, perhaps limiting reps or alternating practice days, the fact remains, Hutch is ready to roll. Whether it's full go on day one or a more measured ramp-up, there's zero indication that this injury will hold him back. He's already cleared the biggest hurdle, proving to the staff that his body is responding, and his drive hasn't faded one bit, and it couldn't come at a better time. With a revamped secondary, added depth on the interior, and young players like Brian Branch and Dan Campbell developing fast, having Hutchinson at full strength is the piece that ties the entire unit together. He's the quarterback of the defensive front, the face of that pass rush, and perhaps most importantly, the guy this coaching staff trusts to anchor the line in critical moments. Shepard's comments weren't just fluff, they were a signal. The Lions know what they have in Hutchinson. They've seen the work ethic, they've seen the recovery, and now they're seeing a player who's determined to elevate his game to elite status. He's not satisfied with a good season, he's chasing greatness. So, as we look ahead to the start of camp and eventually week 1, there's no bigger boost for this defense than seeing number 97 flying off the edge, touching the ground in his signature move, and reminding everyone exactly why he was a top draft pick. Hutch is back. And if this preseason energy is any indication, he's coming for everything in 2025. What do you think, Lions fans? Does Hutchinson's return make the Lions defense a top 5 unit in the NFL this year? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this update, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and check out one of our other videos now on the screen for more exclusive Lions coverage. Let's go, Detroit!